What is this MANNEQUINS? Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back. After a while, Chapter 5 videos here. Yes, I understand, I know that Chapter 5 videos have been quite scarce ever since the release of Chapter 4, which is expected. But you know what? I'm an optimist. I think there will be a time, there will be so many news and teasers that there will be video or two every single day leading up to Chapter 5. But, you know, we're gonna take it slow for the time being. But forget all of that, SmackNPie here. We just had a Q&A, Vincent Livings, and I gotta warn you guys first that there was not much related to Chapter 5, but what we did have, it's still quite interesting. It's more towards the lore of the game, but there are two things related to the release of Chapter 5 itself that we're gonna start with first. So, you know, without wasting more time, let us just jump straight into it. So, when somebody asked about the release calendar of 2022 for Closing Entertainment, Vincent Livings realized there's a lot of Dark Deception content coming this year. So, we already know that 3 DLCs, I have a separate video coming for that later, but 3 DLCs are planned to drop this year, with 2 more DLCs hopefully. So, like, the last 6 months of 2022 will have a lot of like DLCs for Monsters and Immortals. But coming back to the topic at hand, in 2022 this year, of course, we will have Chapter 5. So that is confirmed by Vincent Livings himself that Chapter 5 will drop this year. So if anyone was like, it's not gonna drop this year, it's gonna get delayed. No, it will drop this year. They are positive on that, number one. But number two, Vincent Livings said that if you are a console fan, a PC player, or a mobile player, there is an announcement related to Dark Deception coming very soon. He was like, I am so excited to share that news, but unfortunately he can't yet. So why he specifically said it doesn't matter if you're a PC, console, or mobile player, you will be very happy. And he also added, quote, that Dark Deception will finally reach its full potential and will be accessible to everyone. I mean, come on, it literally kind of sort of confirms for me that Dark Deception is coming to other platforms. Like, it's already out on Epic Games Store, you can get that, but apart from that, apart from PC, it's not been like as widely available. So I feel like the only thing I can think of is console ports, mobile ports, but I still could be wrong. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what this new announcement is. I am so freaking excited, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, 2022 is gonna be a great year for Dark Deception. I really hope, and this is just me daydreaming at this moment, but I really hope that both Part 1 and Part 2 drop this year. It's a stretch, sure, but I think it's possible. Given the circumstances of the levels themselves, I think it is possible. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to some lore answer by Vincent Livings. Alright, so it was started with beers. There's gonna be a lot of beers related stuff in Chapter 5. It makes sense, you know, it's the ending of her story, in my opinion. I made a theory video on it, you can check it out. But it was asked about the void in which Beers is staying at the moment ballroom. So to give you a quick context, why is she even there? Like, what is happening? Why does she has a ballroom and like what's going on here? It's actually very simple. Beers made a deal with Malik where she wanted to be famous in Hollywood. She got that, but in return she had to give her soul for eternity to Malik. So she became popular. When the time came, she decided not to give her soul to Malik. She was like, see, I don't want that. I don't want anything to do with that. And Malik is like, oh, no. See, you made a deal with the devil, and you're gonna pay for your soul. She departed from real world and got here. So in order to escape that, she started a ritual. Agatha, Maid's daughter, was killed for this ritual specifically. We know that. We know some of the other details, some of the markings that were used for the ritual. The soul and the ring pieces come into play. The ring altar. What happened is, Beers made a pocket dimension. Now, she's stuck here in this void, where Malik can't get to her. She can't get out of here. She has sealed herself within this pocket dimension as a way to protect her soul from Malik, but also, she's in prison at the same time. This void is a prison. This void is nothingness. Now, this is where Chapter 5 comes into play. Will she stay like this forever? Vincent Livings said that remains to be seen in Chapter 5. But if you want to see outside of this void, if you want to see this story progress outside of this void for Beers, Vincent Livings said that you may get your wish in Chapter 5. But we won't know until much later. So that's probably like for Part 2 of Chapter 5, not Part 1. But still, it just excites me that there's going to be so many new stuff, like New Realm. For the first time, we'll get to see Guys, that part is going to be underrated, and I feel like it's going to top all previous chapters. Speaking of Chapter 5, there's one other character that is rumored heavily that is going to play a big role in Chapter 5, and that is Tammy Hauser. So we saw a little bit glimpse of her. There's talks and theories regarding Blue Ball being Tammy Hauser's good self, and she's there to protect her father and whatnot. I have a separate video planned for her later this week, hopefully, and also Monsters Immortals as well for her. But one thing Vince did reveal that Tammy Hauser has some cool abilities. Now, he didn't specify which Tammy Hauser, the good one or the bad one. It's unfair to say bad one, considering she is just a victim side of the good, quote-unquote good Tammy Hauser. But yeah, listen, the point is, she has cool abilities. I think we saw a little bit glimpse of that in Chapter 5. So, Tammy Hauser, she is 100% one of the levels in Chapter 5. Now, if not a level, then at least she will be like available in some sort of gameplay. Let's talk about mannequins. Okay, everybody's favorite topic for Chapter 5. Mannequins. Somebody asked, "Yo, Vince, will you call mannequins zombie mannequins?" No. The answer is no, they won't be called zombie mannequins. However, guess what? They have a name, but unfortunately that won't be revealed yet at the moment. So I feel like Vince should go to the root of Chapter 4. One day, reveal the name, then the next time reveal the models in a teaser video or something, then a voice reveal of just a voice reveal that they did with the Trigger Teddies. There was no dialogue, but just like voice reveal. It was still cool, so that we still have something. There's one more thing related to mannequins, but we're gonna come back to it in just a second. Then it was also revealed that there's E character, which we theorized to be Elise Hauser, Clarissa Elise Hauser. She has a big role in Chapter 5 as well. So, Vince was going on about how there were a lot of backstories written for monsters before Daughters of Enhance dropped, but then when it became popular and serious, he decided to put the stories back into the game, and he did it through E's note. So E's story was added later, so the character of E and her storyline was added later. She was not part of the original Daughters of Enhance storyline, but then again, anything from Chapter 2, I'll say Chapter 3, story-wise, was never a part of the original Dark Deception. It was always meant to be the funny, goofy thing that was Chapter 1, and it was always meant for mobile. He specifically said that, so we should be grateful that it is. He also said that Model Viewer and a museum, just like Bendy the Ink Machine Archives, there was this chapter you can see all the character name, that was scrapped. If you remember, he said that after all chapters there will be some way to see all the characters and their lore and backstories, but then that was changed into E's notes. Not saying you won't get Model Viewer or Museum, but it's just that lore-wise, nope. Then somebody asked about the locations. They were saying that A, if there is like self-destruct sequence or a fire in a house, burns the house down, and we escape, what do the monsters do? Do they like put the fire out? Trigger Teddy's bringing the hose, putting the fire out? Like, what do they do? Do they escape with it? Well, Vince answered it, and I think it's pretty important key to what's gonna happen in Chapter 5. And I feel like this is the key to Dark Deception Chapter 5's lore, and Dark Deception lore in general, for both Peters and Doug Hauser. He said nothing in Dark Deception's world is real. Now hold on, you guys might run Yo Smack. Nah, we don't like this. This is the exact reason why the Dark Pictures Anthology Series' second game, Little Hope, got so much controversy, is because of that ending. Spoilers alert. Nothing was real, it was all in his head. No. Now, it does feel like it that way, but hear me out, right? It says that in Dark Deception's world, and Malek's realm, specifically where we are all at, takes any form that the inhabitants desire. Now, we're talking specifically for monsters, Malek's pets, and servants. Not us. Could that be applied to characters like Beers? For characters like Doug? Maybe not characters like Doug, but for characters like Beers, sure, 100%. Which means that in Chapter 5, Part 2, specifically the final boss, that is not Malek. Y'all are gonna keep saying Tammy is not a boss. Listen, when I say Tammy is the boss, I mean Doug Hauser as a final boss. I made a video talking about Doug Hauser as a final boss, because if we're gonna play this whole shenanigans of good and evil, Beers being the good one, Malek being the evil one, then you got Tammy Hauser as the evil one, and then you got Tammy Hauser as the Blue Ball, the good one, then you gotta put in Doug Hauser as the good one and the evil one. So you're playing as the good one who feels regret, guilt, and then you get the evil one who did those deeds. It is very easy to explain something like that, where your final boss is you, facing you, all the horrible things you've done, the guilt, the regrettable actions, transforming into monsters, and you facing them, all of them at once, finally overcoming, compensating for them, and then receiving forgiveness from Tammy, Clarissa, and most specifically forgiving yourself to move on, whether it be afterlife, whether it be whatever. That is the key to Chapter 5 in Dark Deception's lore. So yeah, coming back to the mannequins, it was revealed that mannequins' movement and AI will be revealed sometime in the future. He didn't give any specific date, but he did say that there is a chance we might get them separate of the trailer. So right now the current consensus in the community is that it'll be a consistent silence, then there will be a trailer for Dark Deception Chapter 5, then another trailer for the release date, and then the release trailer. But I feel like that could change depending on the situation. We'll see what happens. Now, if you fancy Fans Reaper's Christmas mascots, by the way, Christmas mascots 2 coming soon, you guys might get bummed out because it was revealed that nothing ice related is in the mall, which is odd because it is Christmas theme, it is winter, so no ice related thing in the mall. Not saying you can't see ice through the window or snow or anything like that, but it's just like nothing ice related inside the mall. That is a bummer. It was revealed that there will be a lot of hazards in Mannequins level. One of the levels that was hyped for a ton of hazards was Barely Buried. So you can already vision and imagine the hazards there and then translate them here in Mannequins level inside your head. And since this video is getting a little long, I will end it with... Y'all remember the pizza time? The fan game, Dark Deception fan game? There's a chance that might be featured in Dark Deception Chapter 5. We'll see what happens, but it's actually good news if that is get featured. But yeah, okay, this is me post Smack. I was editing the video until I forgot that I didn't include some more news updates. Yes, this was a long video, I know, but hear me out, right? If anyone was curious as to the length of Chapter 5, it was revealed that it might be longer than Chapter 4 because of the cutscenes, number 1, and number 2 different endings. We've already talked about a lot of endings in a separate video, but the cutscenes ones, it really surprises me the most because it was revealed that the cutscenes will be spread out evenly, unlike Chapter 4 where we just saw a movie, which is still fantastic. By the way, I am putting together a movie for Dark Deception, so shout out to me for that. That made no sense. Also, the next thing, which is pretty important, I don't know why I didn't talk about it at the beginning of this video, but Malak's door. I made a video on it. It was a theory, but now it is confirmed that the door, Malak's door, plays a big role and big important part in Chapter 5, which is why there was a teaser for Malak's door, which is why Malak is the sole focus of Chapter 5. It makes sense too, he should be the poster person for Chapter 5, it's the finale, come on now. You can check that video out too. And finally, we're gonna end it with flashbacks. More flashbacks in Chapter 5. So, we don't know how these flashbacks are gonna work, if this is gonna be like a real life thing, or the same flashback like we had, where Malak plucked our memories from our brain. I wanna see some real life flashback cutscenes. Just imagine from a first person perspective, you see your child, Tammy Hauser, playing in the playground, or talking to your wife, even it's like very blurry and like oversaturated or something like that, I will take it. I just need some reality breathed into this world because it's so dark. It could use some light outside air. But yeah, now back to the outro. Guys, I am so excited for Chapter 4. This is gonna be... Chapter 5 might finally be my dream come true for Dark Deception. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. This is the current situation of Chapter 5. We'll have a second part where we'll talk about Monsters and Mortals, Evil Nun, other projects and whatnot. So just let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Oh my god. Look at you, evil. Don't be me! Don't be me! Matron, what the fuck? Queen Penny, Trick-or-treaty! What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you just little shizzle? Hey, I liked that. He was stunned, his abside, saw traps, more Jojo land. Freak you, get the freak out, move!
Project Joy Kill is now initiated.
Joy kills ish.
Constructing.